Hello guys, today we're going to be doing multi-step equations. This is going to be quite long, so make sure that you write this neatly, replay the video if you need to, and make sure you write the notes and leave plenty of space to do the work. Alright, so let's look at this problem. We got 3 parentheses x plus 5 plus 3x plus 1 equals negative 32. We want to start by organizing our information, so I'm going to go ahead and draw the line down the middle to separate the left side from the right side. My first observation is that on the left side, so my first observation is the left side needs simplifying. That'd be great. Needs simplifying. And by that, let's see what we can do. We can distribute the 3 first because it is multiplication. Again, you can write all these notes down. Pause the video if you need to. So, my first observation is that the left side needs to be simplified because it is too long, and we need to distribute the 3 first because it's multiplication. After we distribute the 3, we're going to see what happens. So let's go ahead and distribute the 3 because we want to do multiplication first. So again, we're only going to distribute to stuff inside the parentheses. So that means I'm going to take the 3 and multiply it to the x. So that's going to give me 3x. Then I'm going to take the 3 and multiply it to 5. So that's going to give me 15. And these two were being added, so I'm going to add a plus. I'm not going to do anything to the 3x and the 1 just yet. So I'm just going to bring it down, because there's nothing to do there. You can't multiply those, you can't combine those, they are not like terms, and there's nothing to do on the right side. Now if you notice, we have 3x plus 15 plus 3x plus 1 equals negative 32. The left side still has a lot of terms. Left side has a lot of terms. We have like terms. Like terms have the same variable. So because we have like terms, we can combine them. So that's what we want to do. We want to combine the like terms. Let me show you how I do that. So here, let's combine our like terms. We have 3x, and I can combine that with 3x. And they're on the same side, so really I could just write it like this, 3x plus 3x. Then we also have 15 and 1. So notice that I'm just rewriting it to show that I don't need to change the sign at all because they're on the same side. So make note of that because a lot of students mess this up. So I'm putting little 4 stars right there to make note of it. If terms are on the same side, you do not need to change the symbol, the sign. You do not need to change the sign. Because a lot of students try to change the sign when they move it, when they combine them, but they're already on the same side, so I don't need to make that negative 3x. I do not need to make that because it's already on the same side. I just combine it. So here we got 3x, and 3x gives me 6x. And then we have 15 plus 1 is 16 equals negative 32, like this. And now we're back to the two-step equation where we have 6x plus 16 equals negative 32. So here we're just going to move the 16 by subtracting it, because I want to get the x by itself. That cancels out. We got 6x equals negative, they're both negatives, and I'm subtracting negative 32 from negative 16. So it stays negative, and then I just got to add them. That's 8, negative 48, like that. And then we divide by 6, divide by 6. These cancel out. We're left with x equals a negative and a positive gives me a negative. 48 divided by 6 is 8. So x equals 8. And again, you can check your work by plugging it back in, but I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not going to plug it in. So let's go ahead and try the next example. Make sure that you wrote down the notes if you need to. Alright, so here, the first thing you want to do is ask yourself, what needs simplifying? So to know where to start, you got to ask yourself that question. What needs simplifying? Is it the left side? Or the right side? Or both sides? Sometimes you have to do both. So that's how kind of gives you a start. So let's look at this. I'm going to draw my line down the middle. On the left side, I have to distribute 3 to the 1 and the 6. On the right side, I cannot combine 14 or x because they are not like terms. So I can't do anything to the right side, but I can do distribution to the left side. So I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute those. That's going to be negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. A negative 3 times a positive 6 is going to give me a negative 18x, like this, equals. And then we just said that the right side does not have anything to combine. Now here, this problem, we cannot simplify the left side, and we cannot simplify the right side. So we have to ask ourselves, what can we do next? I'm going to give you a second to think about that. Here you want to observe that you have, you're back to variables on both sides. And you want to combine those variables because you don't want to have 2 x's, you just want to have 1x. Remember that, combine into 1x term. Again, if you need to pause the video so that you can write down these notes, please feel free to do so. So I'm going to go back to what we learned from combining like terms in the previous video, and I'm going to move my x over to the other side with this one. And because I'm crossing it over this line, I have to change the sign because I'm crossing it over the line. So I'm going to do plus x to get rid of it on the right and to move it to the left like this. Notice that that's because I'm crossing it over the blue line, over the equal sign. So now we can simplify. We got negative 3. These two are like terms. Negative 18x and positive x gives me negative 17x equals 14. All right. And again, now we're back to the two-step equations that we started with. We got negative 3 minus 17x equals 14. Be very careful because I have a feeling some of us are going to try to move the 17x. Watch what happens if I try to move the 17x. Watch. Do not write it down. Can I combine 14 and 17x? No, they are not like terms, so you cannot combine them. So that's an issue. So I'm not going to do that. But what I can combine, whoops, I erased that one right there. What I can combine is this 3 by moving it over. Again, I'm making it the opposite sign because I'm flipping it across this line. Plus 3. So I'm moving it, I'm getting rid of it on the left side and putting it to the right to leave the x by itself. So I got negative 17x equals 17, like that. And we still got to get the x by itself, so I'm going to divide by negative 17. Divide by negative 17. X equals a positive and a negative is a negative. 17 divided by 17 is 1. So x equals negative 1. Alright guys, so that was a second example. If you need to replay that video to see how it's done, just let me know. And I want you to try this next one. Go ahead and try this next one. This one is a little bit harder because it has a little bit more steps, but ask yourself the same questions. What needs simplifying? Is it the left side, the right side, or both sides? Do you have to distribute? Do you have to combine like terms? So if I were to make a checklist just to make sure that that I know what I'm doing, first I would say, what I simplify first. You want to start with distribution. You want to say, is there any distribution? Then you want to say, is there any combining like terms? And then you also want to say, is there variables on both sides that you need to make into one? Alright guys, so that's what I'm going to leave you with. Hopefully you are able to solve that one and check your work. Have a good day.